Welcome to the Burn Boot Camp podcast, guys. We are back again. We're talking about a single topic here that we're going to hopefully get a little bit deep on that you might have questions about yourself. I'm Matt Morris, VP of Fitness, and I get to be joined by who?
My name is Trisha Pena.
Trish Pena.
I'm the VP of Marketing at Burn Boot Camp.
Great. So you clicked on this podcast for a reason, right? We're going to talk about everything muscle soreness, about the myths behind it. What does it mean for me? What do I do if I get it a lot? What does it mean to me if I don't get sore? So first, let's just talk about what's it called. So muscle soreness, the scientific term is called DOMS, and that's a acronym for delayed onset muscle soreness. So if you get that a lot, that means day one, you feel a little bit sore. Day two gets a little bit worse. Maybe by day three, that delayed onset gets a lot worse. So like on leg day, it's hard to go upstairs. It's hard to sit down on the toilet. So that's what we're going to talk about here. So the first topic I really want to talk about is your fitness journey. So when I first started working out, I got really, really sore. And this was in high school. And there's one reason why. It was new to me. So if you just started your fitness journey, you're like, man, I get sore all the time. It's because your body it's weightlifting and working out. It's a novel thing. It means it's a new thing to your body. So your body doesn't understand what's happening to it. It's going to get sore in the beginning. And fast forward 20 years, you're like, Matt, you probably don't get sore a lot anymore. I still get sore, but it's going to take new things for me to get sore. Either more reps, which is new, more sets, which are new exercises done in a different way that's new, less recovery time between exercises.
Can
That's
I ask you a
something
question?
new. Of course.
Before we move on, because I was actually just talking with someone about this very topic, because we just had leg day at Burn Boot Camp recently, and she was asking me, like, how sore are you? Because I had told her I'd picked up the heaviest weights I'd picked up ever. Like I PR'd. And I was like, no, I'm actually not sore. And I was like, is it weird that I'm jealous that you're sore and I'm not sore? So why, if I picked up heavier weights and I did the workout, why was I not sore if I'm progressing in weights?
Muscle soreness is a very nuanced thing. So there's a lot of details that go into it. So you have been working out for a long time.
Yeah.
You really don't skip leg day,
no.
Right? So the worst thing you can do if you're listening to this is equating muscle soreness to having a successful workout. So if you are comparing leg days from the first time you worked out, which your legs were crazy sore,
probably,
to now, where your form is better, you might not get as sore. But if you look at your leg development from now until the first time you worked out, it's totally different. So there's a lot of factors that go into being sore. One is obviously how long you've been working out. That matters. Some people just have physiological things in their body that make them more sore than others. So that could be it. Your sleep. So if you've been sucking on your sleep and your body is already in a high state of stress, you could be getting more sore. The amount of calories you're eating will dictate how sore you may or may not get. Not for everybody. How hydrated you may be. So if you're really, really dehydrated, you might get a little bit more sore compared to if you are properly hydrated and getting the electrolytes that you need. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. But the biggest thing I also want to compare this to is like the sweat thing too. Like people equate sweatiness
that should be a top podcast on its
sweatiness
own.
to workouts, and some people just sweat more than others. Like it doesn't mean that you work. Yeah, like Trish sweats a lot. I sweat a lot, but it doesn't mean I look someone next to me who's working just as hard as me and they're not sweating. So stop thinking not getting sore is a bad thing, but there's also a flip side. So it's like if you are still progressing in your weight, which is great, and you never get sore anymore, there might be some things you might need to change. So
like, could I have gone heavier?
You could have gone heavier, right? You could change the reps. You could throw a pause in exercises where it's an intensifier that's new to your body, that they haven't seen yet that's going to create the damage that your body is going to get sore from. So soreness, if you feel soreness, that means you did positive damage to the muscles that you worked, and your muscles had to recover from that new thing that you gave it.
But just because I didn't feel sore doesn't mean that I didn't do positive damage.
Correct. Okay. It's a very nuanced, and you would wish like this is a black and white thing. It's not black and white. There's multiple factors that go into muscle soreness. Now, let's talk about, what do I do if I am really, really sore? If I'm one of those people, physiologically, like I get sore all the time, right? It's some of those things I rattle off. So make sure you're properly hydrated. Mm-hmm. Make sure you're getting, for me, that might be different for you. I get at least 8-9 hours of sleep every night.
I heard 12, but
that was one day. I came back from vacation. I partied a little too hard. I had to get 12 hours of sleep. It could be that you're working out too much, right? Where you're not giving your body proper recovery. So if you're like constantly like, dude, I'm never going to take a workout off, that's great. But if you're constantly getting sore, you might need to take an active recovery day or two. I think I noticed you said you like to walk, right? That's a great active recovery day if you're really sore.
What about supplements too? Like creatine?
Yep. So creatine, if you're on creatine, that will help you recover a little bit better between workouts. Obviously, the protein is going to help you build back the muscle that you broke down. There's another one.
Magnesium helps too.
No, not from. Yeah, magnesium and leucine also helps. So leucine's in our protein powder, but if you take a leucine supplement, that'll help you recover quickly. But the big pillars, the big levers you got to pull is sleep, hydration, food, and then supplements. I would say was 4 down the list that you probably have. So
okay. Well, I mean, what?
What makes you the most sore? Are you a person that gets sore a lot?
Well, I think, no, not really. I mean, I do enjoy being sore after a leg day because I feel like I'm getting the gains that I want to see. And it's just like a mental thing. But I get really sore after a core day. And I think I know why.
Well, let's talk about it. So I was going to say, you're going to get sore after a core day. You're going to get sore after upper body day. Why? Because you do less of those compared to leg days. Yes. So it's like, it's the work. That's an easy thing to point out. So if you're someone who skips a typical protocol, like core for her, core for me, and if I go to a core workout, dude, I'm going to be so sore the next day.
It hurts to laugh.
But if I go to core all the time, right, and I never miss a core day, and I've done the work, it's going to take more work for me to get that sore again, or it's going to take new exercises or done in a different way to get soreness. So soreness can be a good thing, right? If you do it the right way, but if you don't get it all the time, it's not a bad thing. And I know that's maybe not the answer you want to hear, but it's a lot of things that go into it.
So I'm still not going to do a core day all the time. I'll just continue to be sore, but I guess I can stretch. So after a core day, I just need to probably stretch more because I know I'm going to go into it. I know I'm going to be sore because I'm not going to not ever do core day. I'm just going to do a little bit less on a leg day. So I can stretch, right?
You can stretch. I would do dynamic stretching. So the best thing you can do for soreness is actually to get blood back into the muscle. And the worst thing you can do for being sore is to be stagnant. So if you be like, oh, dude, I'm not going to get off the couch on this weekend because I'm so sore. Dude, that soreness is going to be delayed for a long time. Go for a walk. Do some body weight squats. If your upper body is sore, maybe do some push-ups. Like you just need blood back into the muscle to loosen it up, and it'll flush. That blood's going to flush out that lactic acid that got built up in that muscle to help with that soreness. So that's what I would do, is do things that get the blood moving.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think this was a good conversation. I actually learned some things from.
What'd you learn?
I guess I learned that it's okay to not really overthink. Going back to don't overthink it. Like if you're sore,
it's okay.
It's okay. If you're not sore, it's okay. I think sometimes we just need a reminder. I know these things, but I think you still kind of hope to feel the after effects of, especially when you give it your all and you're like, well, dang it. But I just, it's a good reminder, I think, for everybody. If you know a lot about being sore, or even if this is like a whole new topic for you, and if you have any other questions, let us know. Yeah.
And the last piece of advice I would give is, if you think doing more of something, doing a double, right? So if you think of last week and your leg day, and after leg day, you weren't sore. So you're going to the next week thinking, all right, I'm going to do 2 leg days in one day. And Will you get sore? Yeah, maybe. But doing more work doesn't always equate to getting more results. So it's a tough thing for a person to think that way, but there is a point of diminishing returns. So I don't want you to think if you're not sore, to do another workout of the same thing to get sore, it's going to get me more results. That is not necessarily true, and probably more than you think. But my piece of advice is change the stimulus in which you do the work. So pick up more weights, get your form better, take maybe a little less recovery between sets, throw some intensifiers in there in the rep. If you really want something sore, give it something new. So that's what I would say.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys learned something new today. And if you have any other questions for Matt, I think we got a lot of, I feel like there's other things that we can pull out of this topic for like
quick nuggets in there.
Well, nuggets, but then other podcast topics that we can like dive into.
Yeah.
I think doubles is a really good, I don't know, let us know if you think we should talk about doing doubles. I know I used to do doubles. So let us know. You can now email us. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can email us at podcast@burnbootcamp.com.
We got an email address for this thing now?
We got an email address.
Oh,
we're
man,
getting fancy
legit
up in here. Obviously, you can always hit us up on social, like, subscribe. We're on Spotify podcast, Apple, and then YouTube. So yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll take us out.
Take us
we
out.
Always do.
Yep.
2 claps on 2. 1, 2. Bye.